Zach here in Sweden. We're on our first day of our Model 3 Euro road trip, and behind me there is our ride. It's a all-wheel drive black Model 3 with 18-inch Aero wheels. We're going to be heading from here in Sweden down to Amsterdam, Belgium, Germany, over to Switzerland, and then back up to the UK for the next 3 weeks, traveling all around, showing you charging points, superchargers, talking to all sorts of cool people. We really want you to have a fun time on this trip with us, so come along, will you? And join us on our Model 3 Euro road trip. So we're at our first supercharger on the trip, and as you can see, it's a double cable because the Model 3 needs a special cable. So as you can see, most of these superchargers just have a single cable. That is for like this Model S over here. And what's kind of interesting is this Model S is charging, but he's charging at a stall that could be for either a Model S or for a Model 3. And he's chosen to take up a stall that could be used by a Model 3. So 4 of these are this double cable. So you got your Model S on top and your Model 3 on the bottom. So we're driving down a dirt road to get to what looks like the beginnings of the solar park. And we just passed a big electrical grid connection, which I guess is where they're going to hook up to. So I'm really excited to find out more about this really cool solar park that's going to be installed. Let's go check it out. All right, I'm with Eric Martinson. He is the CEO of Svea Solar. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a field, Eric. I don't know if you realize this. What's going on?
Yeah, we're just starting construction of the largest solar plant in Sweden. So it will start with 5.8 megawatts.
Wait, slow down for a second. This is going to be the largest solar plant in Sweden when you're done?
Yeah, when we're done, or when we're done with the first phase, it will be the largest one. And then we have another potential 5 times that to build out.
Okay, so when we drove in, we drove past a big electrical grid connection point, it looked like. What is that? That's a substation or something?
That's actually the main connection to this area.
Okay.
So we have a capacity of close to 40 megawatts there.
Is that why you chose this area? Because we're so close to that?
Yeah.
How do you start a project this big? I mean, this is overwhelming to me because I see stakes all throughout the field here, and so I assume that those are going to be rows of solar panels?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of the things with a project like this is really about project planning and really plan everything and then have everything done. Because when you actually do the works, this plant will be built in approximately 6 to 8 weeks.
What?
So it's really quick.
If I come back in 2 months, it's going to be here?
We hope it will be commissioned until midsummer, which is in the middle of June.
Wow.
I don't know if I told you the story, but when I started this company right out of college, and I did apply for Tesla 5 times, failed
5 times?
5 times. I tried to. I wanted to be the manager of Sweden because that was before they opened in Sweden, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember this. I went to a showroom outside LA, and I went in there and I went to the car. I was like, wow, this is not the best electric car. This is the best car in the world. Yeah. So this is really early 2013. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm going to work at this company. So I put everything I had in my savings. I put it in Tesla stock, of course.
Very smart.
At 34.67.
Very smart. I hope you still own it.
Yes.
Did you get an interview at least?
I did not. So they said they wanted
Tesla.
They wanted someone with 10 years experience.
10 years experience.
Yeah, exactly. And I told them, it's like, okay, so can you please specify what you need? Because I have studied Tesla 1 hour a day, which I put aside and scheduled for a year.
Oh my gosh.
I knew less.
Do you want to come on the show? Do you want to be a co-host?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I follow your show.
I mean, I guess I got to say, it probably worked out for the better. I mean, you guys are about to put an entire field of solar panels in, and if it weren't for Tesla saying no to you, who knows if that would be true?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just so happy for you guys. This is such an exciting project, and to be able to be here at the groundbreaking of it is really cool. Thank you so much for having us come down here and see this. This is really fun to do. We put the word out about a month or so ago if anyone was able to fly a drone, and Kenneth came all the way down from the Copenhagen area down here to southern Sweden today to help us shoot some drone footage of this solar park. And I gotta just tell you, Kenneth, I feel so fortunate that you're part of our community, that you took time off from your busy day and came down here to help us shoot. And
my pleasure.
And then not only that, you drove here in an electric car.
Of course.
Looks like Kenneth just flew an awesome ring around the solar park to be.
Yeah.
And he's about to come down for a landing. This is a DJI Inspire. Nice. I'm here with Kenneth, our awesome drone pilot. He drove all the way down from Copenhagen to shoot the drone footage you saw today. But then he mentioned something as we were approaching the back of his Kona. What is it that you've done to the back of your Kona here that is so special?
Well, I installed more light. In most cars, you just have one little crappy light in the side of the trunk, which really doesn't do much.
No.
So what I did was to put in a LED strip connected to a 9-volt battery.
Okay.
And a magnet switch.
No, so what does that do?
So when I close it, it turns off the light. When I open it, it switches on the light.
Wait, so all you have to do is open up the hatch and then the light turns on automatically?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't even have to think about it, and you don't have to worry about shutting it off.
No.
I think we're onto something, Kenneth.
We are onto something big here.
Yeah.
When we sell it at Home Depot, the retail price will be $99.95.
All right, I know we don't have a lot of data here, but we've already experienced this twice in Sweden so far, where we pull into a supercharger and we realize that all of the stalls that are available for Model 3s are taken up by Model S's. And I think the reason for that is that a lot of people don't know how it works. And so if you'll notice here, if we go to this supercharger right here, there's two cables. Even Europeans who you think would kind of know this by now, they don't know yet that these two cables are for two different kinds of cars. One cable goes to the Model 3, and the other cable is for the Model S and X. And so we saw a bunch of owners here that were new Model 3 owners, and they didn't know, so they were pulling into a regular supercharger, plugging in, and nothing was happening. And the reason they can plug in is because the end of this looks like what you would use on a Model S or X, which they're used to, but it's missing those two other pins. So this is kind of a PSA for those of you in Europe who just got your Model 3. You're gonna have to make sure that you go to a Model 3 supercharger. And if you're driving an S or an X, make sure that you don't plug into the wrong supercharger. Look at the internet speeds we're getting here on our Model 3. 44 megabits per second. Okay, well it went down to 40, but still 40 megabits per second. That's really cool. All right, so I'm winding down the first day of our trip here in Sweden. We got a lot done today. We went down to Sjöbo. I kind of got it right, I think. Now we're heading off for a fun little night out on the town, and then I'll be heading back to do some uploading tonight. This has been already a fantastic day, and I'm, you know, a little jet lagged, but I think if I push through, I'll get on to Sweden time, and then I'll be good to go tomorrow. All right, so we're gonna put the car into Sentry Mode. Why not? Let's check it out. So let's see what we do here. So I'm guessing if I get too close to the car, I'm gonna get a little warning, right? Oh, Sentry Mode is activated. Lights came on, and the screen is telling me that it's recording, so I'm gonna back off. Whew. So we're starting off this morning in Landskrona, Sweden, and we're going to be heading down, we think, to Zeebrugge, Belgium. That is the port where all the Teslas come in on the boats. You know, we got here on Monday in Copenhagen. This is Tuesday. This is the first day where we're actually going to start to need to use navigation and really need charging. It's important for anyone who's planning a trip to find a good way to plan their trip, right? If you're going on a road trip. And we're going to be using a betterrouteplanner.com. We're partnering with them for this trip because we met Bo last year when we were here in Sweden, and he runs a Better Route Planner. We're going to be using that for the whole trip down. So let's see what we can find out about our trip going down to Zeebrugge. We're in Landskrona, Sweden right now. We're in one of their biggest tech parks. This is where a Better Route Planner is located, along with all these other cool startups. So let's go in and check it out. All right, so I'm at the betterrouteplanner.com offices, and what's cool is behind me, if you check this out, we're seeing in real time the different routes that are being planned all across Europe. So like, here's one in Finland, here's one in Sweden, and it's showing that right now there are 36 planning users, there's 27 driving users, and these are real time, like these are real plans that are being planned as we speak. So this is on a Tuesday morning. So if you look over here in this corner, we see that there's 3.5 million plans that have already been planned on a Better Route Planner. Isn't that cool? All right, so as you know, on a Tesla, you can either navigate by just pushing the button and then typing something in. So we could type in Zeebrugge, or you could also just speak it. And so you can use Tesla navigation if you want to plan your trip down. And as you can see here, all of these red superchargers are the ones that we can reach on the tank that we have right now, which is almost a full tank of 420 kilometers. But then there's a whole lot of light ones. I don't know if you can see them. These are ones that you can't reach until obviously you've charged up at the first round. And it's thinking right now, it's thinking, okay, well, we're in Landskrona and it's got to find us a route. It's thinking about traffic. It's thinking about weather. And so it's planned out 2 superchargers and then Zeebrugge, and it tells us that it's 390 kilometers away, that it's 511 miles. And something you'll notice here is it tells us that we'll be getting to our first supercharger in Brock, Germany with 0% in the battery, in which seems like a kind of a dumb choice. So we're going to go to the web instead, and we're going to go to our favorites, and one of our favorites is A Better Route Planner. And so we're going to open that up, and we are going to tell it that we are going to Zeebrugge, and we're going to tell it to plan the route. So now this is using A Better Route Planner's algorithms. What I really like about this, see, as opposed to Tesla's, is that it's telling us way more information. It's telling us that it's recommending that we take the Rodby ferry. It's telling us at each place what we're going to have for arrival when we get there, how much we're going to have when we leave, how long it's going to take to charge, how much does it cost us. So if we're going to a particular place, what the cost will be to charge. That's fantastic because Tesla doesn't tell you that. It's going to tell you the duration, the distance, the arrival time, the departure time. I mean, see how cool this is? You're actually getting everything you need to know about the plan. What's really cool is that if we need, this is just a direct route there, but if we needed to plan an actual, side waypoint, like let's say we decided we wanted to go to Emden or something, we could put that in as a waypoint on the trip, which is something that you can't do with Tesla. So until you plan a road trip, there's lots of little details that you don't think are that important. And then once you start planning them, you realize whether the software that you're using is really great or not. And that's why A Better Route Planner, I think so many people in the community love it, is because when they actually plan a trip and they actually start using it, they see all of the features that it has are really useful. One of the coolest features is that it's using actual data from actual cars. So you can actually share your data with A Better Route Planner. And so you can tell it, for instance, we're driving in a Model 3 all-wheel drive, and it will then gather data from your car along with all the other all-wheel drive Model 3s to get a better idea of how actual cars travel on that road. That's super important, right? Because all cars aren't the same. They have different efficiencies. They handle different roads differently, different temperatures differently. And so Better Route Planner has all that data. All right, so we're leaving southern Sweden and we're trying to decide whether we should take the ferry or whether we should drive the longer route. Now, A Better Route Planner is saying that it would be slightly faster to take the ferry, but on the other hand, if we don't take the ferry, we can show you a lot more chargers. So I think we're going to go the other route. It's only a very small difference in time. So we're going to go the longer route and we're going to show you a lot more charging. All right, we just go get Supercharger in Denmark. We've been here before. I wouldn't rate it super high. There's just a Burger King. So I would give it like a 5, I think. But it is easy off the highway. So we're leaving this little tip here in Denmark. We're still in Denmark though. And we're just heading over this big bridge here. Just so cool that there's these bridges that span such amazing distances. Alright, so we're getting off the bridge and we're going to be going to our first charger over here, which is an Ionity charger, and it should be on the Plug Surfing app, and we've got our Plug Surfing RFID, which we'll use at the charger. Alright, looks like we found the Ionity chargers, and there's an Eon charger over there as well. Let's go try out our Plug Surfing app. So we're in Denmark and we just pulled up to an Ionity station, and what's really cool is if you check out these cables, these are thick cables and they are water cooled because there is potentially a lot of power going through these and you got to keep them cool. So we're driving along here in Denmark and we just noticed a big plume of black smoke over there. I'd like to think it's just something normal, but I don't think it is. Do you think that was electric? our Ionity charger. Over there is an Eon. I've only seen these in pictures until now. They're very, very imposing. Let's go see if they work. So these Ionity stations are really interesting because they're so tall. You can see them from much further away, and they've got lights along. I don't know if you can see in the daylight, but there's lights here. So I think at night these would really stand out. And so we've plugged in, and we're gonna see if we can get a CCS charge using our plug surfing card. And so we are getting 120 kilowatts of charge. That's a great rate. That's basically, we're in supercharger territory here. I'm guessing that these are the boxes full of the transformers over here. So also just an interesting layout. There's one bay in the middle that has all the chargers, and then basically spots for 3 cars on either side, so 6 cars can charge here. All right, so we're at a supercharger. And at this supercharger, again, there's the Model 3 Priority, which has the 2 cables that we talked about. And there's one other bay here that has the 2 cables. And then there's 4 that don't. Kudos out to Tesla again, because they got the Model 3 in Europe and they got the supercharger network ready in plenty of time for the Model 3. So we just plugged into a supercharger and we're getting 89 kilowatts, which seems a little low. So we're gonna go plug into the one next door and see if that one gives us a better rate of charge. So something just occurred to me as I was watching us plug in our Model 3, and that is, you plug in a Model 3 or a Model S or an X and you have this confidence that Tesla's charging network is gonna work. Because it works and it just keeps working, we're reinforced to love the brand over and over and over again. So that means that someday when it's time to buy our second car or third car, what do you think we're gonna buy? So looking at the numbers, it doesn't look like we're getting that much more than before. We were getting 87 kilowatts. This one's feeding us 90, 91, but it's not the 120 we were getting in at an Ionity, and kind of we would expect to hopefully be getting 135, 140. So we're right here in southern Denmark. We're charging right now at a supercharger, and I've decided I want to get as far as we can tonight, not charging on superchargers. I want to charge on other chargers like Ionity, Fastned, stuff like that. So we're going to use our plug surfing card so that we can stop at other brands of chargers on the way. Let's try that out. Interesting, we just crossed over the border to Germany and the truck blocked our way. And we just crossed over the border to Germany and there are solar fields, just, it looks like miles of them. There's also one on the other side of the road. No, seriously, look at miles of them. We didn't edit this. This is just keeps going. Okay, so you might be wondering why on a Better Route Planner it says infinity. That's because we're in Germany now and we're on the Autobahn and we have no speed limit. See? We have not sped up this video. Holy shit. So we're pulling off the Autobahn in Aalbeck, looking for our charger. This is not a supercharger. We've decided, like we said, to travel from Denmark down to Zeebrugge using just... Uh-oh. Wait a minute. This might be bad. Can't use these. These pump the wrong kind of electricity. Looks like we've got some chargers here. All right, so we're pulling into Ionity chargers, which I think, in theory, can charge up to 350 kilowatts. Of course, we're not going to get 350 in this car, but let's go see what we do get. I like these Ionity chargers. They have really big screens. And we're going to try out, again, our plug surfing RFID. See if it's happening. And it says, go ahead and start by pushing that button. Here we go. Looks like we're green, and the screen is lit up. Oh, we got a cool screen here. So it's showing that we're 85, 89, 95, 6, 106, 140. Oh my God, we're getting quite a charge here. 140. Oh, okay, drop back down. All right, looks like it's settling in at 124. 373 volts, 338 amps. It gives you your state of charge on your battery, and it tells you how long you've been charging. That's really cool. Yeah, so this is really the equivalent of a supercharger right here. This is fantastic. It says that we're at 120 again. I think the car is software locked at 120 kilowatts. So it looks like the charger would have pumped out a whole lot more, but the car is only going to allow 120. I mean, that's still good. That's still supercharger area, but I'm wondering why it can't take more, since we've seen when we were at the Model Y event that Model 3s were charging even faster than this. I don't know. Maybe we should get on the phone with Elon. This is not our car going by. That's another black Model 3. Well, that's the third one today. See, I'm proving that can't be us, because that's us. And that's them. The revolution has begun, people. We're in Germany. And there's a second black Model 3 with the black interior. That's right. I told you, 2 Model 3s in Germany. Amazing. All right, I'm here with my friend Hans. He has just got his Model 3 about 3 weeks ago, and he's charging here with me at this Ionity charger. And you've been to a Supercharger a couple times.
Yes, I did.
And how do you like your car?
It's a nice car.
Yeah?
It's a nice car. But I was in the garage in Hamburg 2 weeks ago because
something went wrong?
The trunk wasn't okay, and they made it. And I have wind noises.
Yes.
And I told them, and this is Tesla. They ordered a glass roof, and I have to come back and I get a new roof.
Oh, to make the wind noise go down?
Yes.
And the trunk wasn't quite closing right?
Yes.
Did they fix it? Or
they fixed it. Yes.
So are you happy?
Everything is okay.
Are you happy with your service?
Yes.
Okay. And how about the driving itself? So you were driving regular gas cars before.
I still have a gas.
So you still have a gas. And
gas.
Do you like this better, worse? How do you think of it?
No, it's better.
Better. Okay.
It's
what do you
better.
like? The smile tells it all. Hey, VW, don't block us in. What is this? What's going on? You're not going to solve the problem by blocking in Teslas. It's not going to work. Get out of here. So I think I'm figuring something out here. We've already been to a couple Ionity chargers, and at this last Ionity charger, something weird happened again, which is we got 33 kilowatt hours of juice, and then it stopped charging for some reason, no apparent reason. So, not sure why, if it's a problem with Tesla or a problem with Ionity, but that's happened to us twice now. I guess we're gonna have to figure out why that's happening. Alright, we could supercharge, or we could here we come. Alright, so we're at an and we're gonna give it a try. There's all sorts of cool buttons here. There's an emergency stop button, which I kind of want to push, but there's AC, there's DC, so we got AC, combo, and the Chademo. We're going for the combo. Let's do it. All right, we're using our plug surfing card there. There's a really high-pitched sound. Can you hear that? It's really annoying. But I will say I'm really impressed with the plug sharing card, because it's been working at every charger that we've been going to so far. This is an U, but we've also gone to Ionity. I don't know if this is EWE. I'm going to call it EWE. I don't want to call it U. Ooh, look at what we did. We came in with a low charge, 12%. It says the battery's low. Let's see what we're going to get at this charger. All right. See what happens. This is a Fast E. Fast Charging Study Europe. It's not part of the network. It's not part of the network. I should contact them. Okay. Plug surfing should contact Fast E and get that working. We're in Lohne, Germany, and I guess on the roof they've got solar because, I mean, obviously it's overcast and late in the day, so it's only 0.16 kilowatts, but that is how many kilowatt hours they've produced, I guess, since they installed it. And that's how many kilograms of CO2 they have offset. We're in the town of Onsebroek. And this is where we'll be staying tonight. Our hotel has a destination charger. Now, funny thing about destination chargers, I don't think they're supposed to charge you to charge at them, but some places do. So the whole reason that we're staying here tonight is that this hotel, the Walhalla Hotel here, it has a destination charger, which we found using the Tesla navigation. And that's a pretty good reason to pick a place, right? Because tonight, instead of waking up in the morning and having to go find a supercharger, we are basically going to be all charged up by the morning. We're driving down a very narrow street with the Model 3. The Model 3's like, whoa, I don't like it. You know, another really cool thing about driving an electric car into an old city like this is that it's not noisy or smelly, and it really makes a difference when you're in a city like this, because you're driving right next to little businesses and houses and people, and you don't feel bad. Do you remember ever driving into a small city with like a regular car and you just kind of feel like, oh, please, I'm sorry. But with an electric car, I don't get that feeling. We're parking at this hotel down in the garage. It's a little tight. Oh, but look, there's some carpet here, so in case you want to rub against it. And you got a very nice gentleman who's helping us park. Oh, right over here, look at that. So if you park at this hotel, you've got a spot here for, I mean, technically 2 Teslas, but I don't see how they would fit it. Maybe a second one could go back here, because the cables are long. But that's really cool. Oh, and then it gets done. Thanks so much for watching Now You Know. We work hard to bring you videos about things that we think you'll find useful, but we need to know from you what you want to see, so leave your comments below. Also, don't forget to go over to our Patreon page, where for as little as $1 a month, you can watch our Patreon bonus story every week on Tesla Time News. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.